Hey y'all, it's your girl Gabby and I am back with another video. On my channel, I make videos about random stuff, and today, man, let me tell y'all what happened last night. Alright, so let me give you a little backstory on this whole dumbass story that I'm about to tell. Okay, so the idea was me and my two homegirls, Ahi and Christy, we're gonna go out and have a chill kind of girls' day, right? Girls' evening going out session, okay? Not unusual for us, we do it all the time. So it was gonna be a comfy, cute type of night, no heels, nothing like that. And we were supposed to meet at my apartment at 9 p.m., okay? Keep all that in mind. So, starting the story off. I'm at the crib, you know, I'm getting dressed, I'm doing my hair, doing my makeup, trying to get cute for the night. The plan was to go to Wrigleyville. So Wrigleyville is where the stadium is. This is Chicago, by the way. Wrigleyville is where the stadium is for the Sox, I think, which is baseball. If y'all don't know, don't quote me. I'm gonna insert it if I was wrong. But that's where the stadium is at. And a lot of times when there's a game, there's a lot of activity that goes on right around the stadium, which is why there's a lot of bars and clubs right there in Wrigleyville. So that's where a lot of people go to try to have a good time late at night, right? So I can't remember if it was a game that night or it was a game before, but usually the weekend is popping no matter what is going on in that area. We thought, you know, what better way than to celebrate over there, right? So that was the plan, but just keep that in mind because you'll see what happens. I'm at the crib getting dressed, getting ready. You know, it's getting close to 9. It was like 8:30 when I was fully dressed and ready to go. This is unusual because I take forever to get dressed and I'm pretty much one of the last ones that'll show up to anywhere because I like to have my time. You know, I have to get cute. I have to get myself together, right? Well, I got together real quick, okay? And I was ready to go. And of course, everybody's meeting at my house, so I have to just sit around and wait for them. It's not unusual that my friends were late, as I was saying, but they didn't get here till like 9:30, 9:45, right? And we were supposed to meet at 9 and leave before 10. Thankfully, they stopped at Raising Cane's and brought us some food, because at least it wasn't for nothing. But when they got here, we sat down, we ate, we chilled. We were supposed to make TikToks pre-game, have a couple drinks, do all that, right? Basically, none of that happened. So we had to eat real quick. They had to get dressed, do hair, do makeup, all of that. Of course, the normal things that you do when you're going out. By that time, none of that's really that important. But by that time, it was about 10:30, pushing 11 o'clock. So, you know, it's time to go. It's late at this point. It's time to go. So one of our other friends ended up picking us up. Her name is Des, and she had a friend with her, a guy, we're gonna call him Jay, right? You know, both of them real cool. We chill with them. It's all good. They pick us up and we head out. You know, we go straight up to Wrigleyville and we ready to pop out. We're ready to have a good time. We get to Wrigley very quickly. It took maybe 15, 20 minutes. You know, we was there like at 11 o'clock to 11:15, like pretty much in that time window. So we on time. We're not on time, but we're on time enough and we're ready to go. We're ready to get out there. We ready to cut a rug, right? That's not the case. We started walking up the strip and it's like a whole strip of all these bars and clubs, right? And it's a lot of famous places and like historical places that's on there, right? So we have a couple places in mind that we wanted to hit up, right? We start walking up the strip, kind of seeing what's going on. Everybody's out on the street. Everybody's out right now and trying to get in places so they can like be in for the night, you know, right? So we're like, okay, babe, you know, we got to figure out what we want to do. We walking up the strip and all of a sudden Jay is like, yo, I don't think I have my ID. We like, what? You know you need that. And he's like checking his pockets. He feel like he don't have it. And he's like, I think it's at the crib. So we like, damn, you know, at this point, that's not a new thing for us. Like we be finagling our IDs and stuff all the time. My other homegirl, Ahi, actually didn't have hers either, but Chrissy had an extra. So we had 2 IDs in rotation and they were just gonna come in separately. So the security guards didn't notice that, hey, it's the same girl in the damn ID. They're cousins, so they have some facial similarities. They don't look alike to me, but you know, on the street, you never know. So that's what we was gonna do tonight, but he didn't have his all together. He didn't have a picture, nothing like that. And the security guards in Chicago will get on dirt with you for that. So we were like, look, we probably got to go get it, right? So at that point, I'm like, whatever. Let's just go get it and get right back here like real quick so we can get in, right? Because at that time it was like 11:15 And if we got back by like 12:15, if it took us an hour to get there and back, I feel like we would be decent to get into any place that we wanted to go, right? Well, that's not really what happened. So we get in the car and we head home. He lives a little bit further than we live. It was about a 35 minute drive both ways to get back to where, you know, his house was at. So we drive. So they stopped at McDonald's to eat, and then we kind of drove back. Everybody was just jamming the music, having a good time. We still in good spirits at this point, by the way. Everybody's doing fine. We get to his place. He goes upstairs and starts looking for his ID, right? So me and the girls are downstairs. We dancing in the car, you know, we getting out the car, dancing in the street, having a good time, shooting a couple videos, you know, just pre-gaming, getting ready to go because we want to go out tonight. That was the whole purpose. Y'all, tell me why this man come back to the car. He gets in the car. We're like, all right, bet, everybody, let's go. We got everything we need. Let's get out of here. Let's go back to Wrigleyville. Let's go back to the parties. That's what we're trying to do, right? This man get back in the car and he was like, to be honest, my ID was in the car the whole time. When I tell y'all, in the car the whole time, the man's ID and his wallet was in the car the whole time. Like it was like in the seat that he was sitting in. I'm like, yo. But you know what? Okay, let's just hurry up and get back out there, right? Cool, let's go. So by the time we ended back up, oh, pause, I forgot something. So his ID's in the car. We irritated, but we like, bro, let's go, whatever. You know, we trying to have a good time, and it's you stalling this right now. And no shade, no hate or anything to any of them, because we had a great time just hanging out and chilling, but that shit was stupid as hell. Anyway, so we decide, you know, oh, let's stop at another spot since it's getting a little bit later that we know is open till 5 a.m. for sure, so we can just party there all night. We don't got to keep driving and doing all this because we did a lot of driving, right? So we check on the website. The place actually said permanently closed, like all through the panoramic, right? So we thought it shut down, but we couldn't find any articles like why it shut down, because it's a really, really famous place. It's called the Liquor Box. If you look on any Chicago top 10, whatever, it's always on that list. And I don't want to say it's like so lit, like it's hella, you know, it's not in Wrigleyville. It's actually in Lincoln Park area, I believe. Which probably don't mean nothing to y'all, but it's not in the same area, but it was close enough. It was like 15 minutes apart or something like that, 15, 20. So we're like, let's go there because we know, like, yo, we can have a good time there every time. Like, it's gonna be cool. And it's not a good time every time because sometimes the DJ is trash, but the way we are, we can make a good time out of anything, right? So we're like, yeah, let's go check it out. It said permanently closed on the website all through the panoramic, okay? Today it says open till 5 a.m. So we're like, yo, this spot is open. We're definitely hitting this up, right? Because it's one of our go-to spots that we would like end the night out. And at the end of the day, like by the time we already got back up in that area, it's pushing 1 o'clock. So if the things in Wrigleyville are closing at 2 or 3, it's crunch time. Like, you know, we don't have a lot of time to do anything. So we're like, okay, if we go to this place that's open till 5 a.m. and it always is open till 5 a.m., at least 4, but usually 5, we in there like swimwear, like we about to have a good time. So we head on out to the place, right? Driving, pre-gaming, dancing to the music, having a good time. We pull up to the spot, dead as a doorknob, okay? Dead as a doorknob. The place is still bolted down like it was during the panoramic after all the looting and stuff happened. I mean, it was vacant, like completely vacant. I'm like, yo, and I had seen it. I'd driven past it before while it was closed down, and that's what it looked like. It looks exactly the same. Why are you saying on the website that you're open? So we're like, nah, this ain't right. So we drive through the alley and go through the back entrance, which is another way to get in the club. And everything is dead, silent. There's nothing going on. I'm like, I know y'all did not do this, okay? Because now I'm getting mad. And I be impatient. I'm an impatient type of individual. Like, when things start going left, I'm like, yo, we gonna have to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like when things start acting up. So I'm like, yo, why the fuck is this closed? We start walking around the building, like trying to find out, you know, is it really closed? Whatever the case, it's dead as a doorknob. Like the place is pitch black, there's nothing going on, and it's still bolted up. So we had to take that as an L. We had to chalk that up to the game and move on. So we're like, okay, whatever. Let's just go back to Wrigley where we was at 11 o'clock, and it's now 2 hours later. It's 1. I think it was a little bit after 1 by the time that we got there. So we had to park the car, which takes a while. It's only street parking, you know, we had to drive around and do that. And then by the time we get out the car and we get back like on the strip, it's like close to 1:15, 1:30, right? So we back on the strip, which is where we were at 11 o'clock. So 2 hours have passed. 2 hours in the car, basically 2 hours have passed. We walking up and down the strip, everybody's outside. And the thing is you feel weird when you see everybody on the street, but you don't really see people inside. So I'm like, I don't know if that means the places are dry inside, or if they're closing up, or if the capacity is just 3 people in every building. You know, I don't know what that means, but it's hundreds of people outside right now. So we walk in, we kind of trying to figure out what's going on. It's people catcalling us on the street and stuff like that. But I'm like, if you're not taking us inside nowhere, why would we say anything to you? Like, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. That's it. That's all. We walk in, we trying to figure out what's going on. We end up getting into one place. There's lines for everything. This place didn't have a line. So we ended up walking right in, showing our IDs real quick. It was this like New Orleans themed bar, Nola Cafe, something like that, right? Man, we walked in that thing. When I tell you it was dry as hell, it was people inside there, but the music was bad, the energy, the vibe, everything was just ugh. And it's not even nothing that we could turn up, because at the end of the day, like, dang, I shouldn't have to do all this. I just want to go somewhere and have a good time. So we walked basically right up out of that thing because it was dry as hell. And the clock keeps ticking. It's getting later and later. We need to find something to do, right? So we keep walking up the strip. We asking people where they've been at. Where are the black people at? You know, where can we have a good time? Because a lot of these clubs, again, are like historic, sport-centric type places. So they don't have a lot of like hip hop and super upbeat type of vibes. Like, it's more of a chill vibe. There's a place called Sluggers. It has batting cages upstairs. I've actually been there. It was pretty fun. But it's more stuff like that. It's not really like a pop out, you know, type deal, but you can find that on a specific type of night, and we thought it was that kind of night, but it wasn't. Anyway, we walking around, we end up going to another spot. I can't remember the name of it, but I mean, the energy was just off. Like, everything was just dry. And then we waited in a couple lines, and then we ended up getting out because the line was too long and doing all this and that, right? Just walking up and down and up and down and up and down the strip, talking to people on the street, you know, whatever the case. Nothing was going on. So it was very dry as hell, okay? At that point, we get into one of these lines. It's now 2 o'clock. You know, it's definitely 2, maybe 2:15. We get in one of these lines for a place. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was called like HVAC or something like that. And with a name like that, we shouldn't even bother. So we sit in the line. We all the way like behind the building in the line. Like, the line is that deep. And it's slowly moving though, so we not that mad, right? So we kind of in this courtyard. They're trying to roll up. Like, everybody's kind of chilling. I'm just, you know, when my arms be folded like this, I'm irritated. So I'm just kind of standing there like this, but I'm getting the air. You know, I'm hearing the music from inside. I'm trying to keep the good vibe, right? Child. First of all, it was this crackhead man with a bike, okay, that kept bothering us. I'm talking about up and down. We was standing in line, right? And the way we were standing, it was like some of us were here and some of us were there, like parallel to each other, and there was a walkway in between because it was like a courtyard, so we could lean up against the wall and whatever, right? Now this man takes his bike back and forth between us like this, staring us down. I mean, daggers, like staring daggers. He was like looking like, what you want to do? I'm like, yo. So I'm just looking at him. I'm just giving him a death glare back because I'm irritated. I'm like, yo, we're supposed to be having fun right now and we not doing nothing, and it's bothering me. This man, I mean, he was riding around in circles around us, like, and there was this whole weird courtyard of fake flowers, right? And he kept watering the fake flowers. Like, he was pouring beer bottles into the flowers, water, soda, everything into these damn flowers. And I'm like, he's getting me mad. Like, I'm not even going, he was getting me mad. And he kept coming over to bother us. I'm like, yo, we gotta get in this place because this man finna piss me off. And everybody in the line was so weird. Like, the energy was so bad. But we was still trying to get in this club because we had to get into somewhere, right? So slowly but surely, we getting up to the front of the line. Now we basically at the door. It was like a small group of people in front of us, and then it was all of us behind them. So we like the next ones to get in, right? We get up to the gate. Security comes out. hey guys, we're closing up for the night. We gotta close the line. You know, it's getting close to closing time. As of right now, it's like 2 something, right? And they're like, yeah, we're closing up. We close at 3:30 or whatever the case. So we gotta close the line right now because we're not letting nobody else in because we're getting ready to close. We've been sitting in this line for 30 minutes. We've been sitting in this line for 30 minutes. And he's like, sorry guys, you know, we gotta close the line. I'm like, we're at the door. He's like, sorry, you know, that's it for the night, you know, whatever. Whatever, dude. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so we walk out of that line. At that point, I'm like, it's time to go. Because we have had no luck tonight. And obviously that luck is not gonna change because this sucks. Okay? It's time to go. I'm mad that I got dressed. I'm mad that I came outside. I'm mad that I put on a little bit of makeup. I'm mad that I look cute. And I'm not having a good time. And like, that was basically the sentiment for everybody. Like, we wasn't like in a bad mood, but it was just like, this is over with. Like, you gotta know when to throw in the towel, right? Dog. We keep walking. We walking up the strip again, trying to figure out what's going on real quick before we decide to go. We finally find this little place that was open, which is actually one of the places we were supposed to go to in the first place, called Stretch. So we end up running into Stretch real quick just to try to catch a vibe. They didn't have a line. They were also getting ready to close in like the next 30 minutes or so. So it's like we could go in there for a few minutes, whatever. We couldn't catch the vibe. The night was already dead. So we just basically upped and left right after that. So you would think that this is where the story ends, because we already took enough L's tonight. No, the story doesn't end here. We get out of the freaking place, right? And we like, okay, let's go back to the car. Child, we lost the car. We lost the car. And I'm not talking about, oh, we know it's this way, and we're just confused on which street out of 2 streets. No, we didn't know where the car was in the entire 10-block radius of where we were at, okay? We did not know where that fucking car was. So I'm directionally challenged, like extremely. I can't even find my way home from a block away from my apartment. So I'm directionally challenged as hell. My GPS is always on. How am I gonna find the car? How? So I'm like, well, it might be this way. Somebody else says it might be this way, this way, this way, this way. It's 5 of us. It's 5 of us, and we're trying to figure out where the hell is the car. We walk the complete wrong direction. I mean, out of this world. Up and down streets, left, right, around corners, turning around, all of that. Can't find the car. By this time, it's pushing 3 a.m. Can't find the car. Don't know what's going on. We can't find the car. Nobody's panicking, but it's just like everybody's annoyed because like we wanted to go home and now we can't even find a dang on car. So we walk in the other direction. So basically back up the strip again. We walk back and forth up and down the strip at least 50 times, okay, over the course of the night, and we did not even go in anywhere. Anyway, we go and we walk the other direction and try to find the car. And this is looking more familiar, right? So we're like, okay, you know, it might be this way. So we split into groups. Me and my 2 friends is going one way, and then Des and Jay is going the other way, right? And we're like, we'll just call each other because we got to find this damn car. Like, it's getting late and everybody's tired and we're over it. So we still looking for the car. We still looking around. And I start to see things that are familiar. Once again, I cannot find my way out of a paper bag. How am I the one to find the car? That's how bad we lost the car. Is my slow self can find the car? I'm like, this looks familiar. Yeah, we passed all this on the way in. We passed all this on the way in. So we walk in and we call them like, yo, come back this way. Because they had walked all the way in the other direction because we didn't know where the car was at. So we walk in, we finally find it. So we just standing there waiting on them to walk up. And at this point, yo, we took so many L's tonight. Like, don't go outside. That's what this story is about. And it's not even like that we had a bad time, because it was just a group of people chilling together. But y'all, when I tell you we had every plan and everything set up in place to have the perfect night, and we had a DD, we had a ride, that never happens because we would have spent $1 million on Ubers. We had a ride everywhere we went and we still took L's like that. Yo, the moral of the story is never go to Wrigleyville because it's trash. So if you ever visiting Chicago, don't do nothing in Wrigleyville unless you're going to the game, and go somewhere else. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. But yeah, it was just like a goofy ass night. Everything went bad. Like nothing went correctly. It was just L's all over the place. But yeah, like I was so irritated because I'm like, I look cute. I want to dance. I want to have a good time. You know, we was wearing comfy clothes, comfy shoes. That's when you're supposed to cut up the worst, okay? But we didn't cut nothing. We came back to the crib and that was it. I'm like, dang. I'm not even coming outside no more. But anyway, I'm gonna still go outside. So yeah, that was a story. It was just a lot of stupid stuff that happened that didn't have to happen. But whatever. There's always tomorrow, right? Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Me and my friends go out a lot and a lot of weird stuff happens to us. So if you want more story times about us going out, definitely let us know. Let us know. Let me know. And I will tell you about us. This story time was lame as hell because obviously dumb stuff happened, but it's not always like this. Trust. Okay? Trust. But yeah. Let me know if you like this video. Comment if you have any questions, concerns, or anything that you've heard about Wrigleyville area, anything you've heard about clubbing in Chicago. I can answer anything because it's not good. Like, it's a lot of things that go on that we could definitely talk about. So I'm gonna leave that as a story for another day. Anyways, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.